Homegrown is a journey through my life and career so far, from exploring childhood memories, the early influences in my career, and to the return home and development of my artistic identity. These pieces display imagery from my own personal history and Floridian iconography that reflects the work I've been doing for the past 3 years. As you walk through the gallery, the order of the pieces reflects my own journey so far, from growing up here in Panama City through to finding my creative identity and footing, and on into influences on my present work. As you enter the gallery, the first wall on the left outlines my step-by-step process I use for each painting. As a former engineer turned designer turned artist, this might look a little more left-brained than what you're used to seeing from other artists. For me, everything starts with a concept in mind and a lot of sketching. I recently found out that I have aphantasia, which means I don't picture or visualize images in my head. That means that this is the most flexible and iterative part of my process. Once I have a really clear sketch and idea of what I'll be making, then comes the transfer part of the process. This is when I use printed patterns, a projector, or other methods to get my final design onto the substrate I'll be working on. Finally, it's time for the most enjoyable part of the process, actually making the piece. All of these steps are heavily inspired by the processes and work methods of traditional sign painters, but this is the step where I'm most influenced by their eye for detail and precision. To center the show around the concept of home and the idea of growth is an idea that frankly came to me as a random shower thought. But in retrospect, I can't imagine having made my first collection of work about anything else. People say to write about what you know, and there's nothing I feel like I could be more of an expert on than having kind of an unconventional path to becoming a creative. From growing up here in Panama City to going out into the world and finding this artistic identity and then bringing it back home to a community that I'm so grateful appreciates what I do. This is my journey, and it's what I know best, and therefore made my first show about. In making pieces for this show, I realized that yes, home absolutely has to do with your own personal memories and experiences, but all of that intertwines with the community you surround yourself with that can understand where you're coming from and appreciate what you make out of that identity. When I first started on this project, I imagined it would be about me going into my little art cave and someday emerging with a whole collection of very self-referential work, when in reality, that couldn't be farther from the truth. To make the pieces in this show, I had to reach out and lean on the expertise of others. So a massive thank you goes out to my mother, who works on the quilt project with me, John Rutan of Longleaf Creatives for helping me make woodcut designs, and Matt Miller, who has helped me with all of the video production for this show. If home is the community we surround ourselves with, I'm so grateful to have the three of them in mind. And of course, none of this show would have been possible without community support. I'm so grateful to all of the Kickstarter backers and the team at the Center for the Arts for making this show possible. It's been an absolute dream come true to have an exhibition in this space, and I couldn't be more grateful for all of your support. Thank you to every single one of you that had a hand in making this possible. Thank you so much for visiting. This is Homegrown, the journey so far. Now go enjoy the show!